In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new Sketchboard Pro. Is this your next must-have iPad accessory? Keep watching to find out. All right, so first things first, full disclosure, today's video is not sponsored. What you're about to see here today, the people behind Sketchboard Pro did not pay for. However, they did reach out to me and offer to send me a free Sketchboard Pro in the mail to get my thoughts and my opinions on. So I thought, why not do an unboxing and a review video for you guys, give you my honest feedback, talk about things I like and don't like, in order to help you decide, is this your next must-have iPad accessory? So right off the bat, you can see this thing is huge. And I know the popular Reddit internet meme for measuring things is using a banana for scale. However, I choose to use a can of beer for scale. Speaking of beer, today's video is not brought to you by Yuengling. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. But if you want to sponsor videos in the future, Yuengling, feel free to reach out. All right, so let's go ahead and open the box. But first, can we just take a time out to acknowledge how adorable this packaging is? Super cute little cartoon doodles of these bears and pigs and pencils and dogs, just a nice touch. Got the sheet here to prevent scratching and shipping. And then, of course, the instruction manual walks you through how to use the leg mechanisms, the different orientations that you can use the Sketchboard Pro in, and then on the back, how to carry the Sketchboard with your iPad inside, because if you carry it wrong, it can slip out. And then here in the center of the box, a nice little beer holder. I'm assuming that's what that's for, so it's nice that they included that. You can carry your unopened beers inside there. But we'll get that out of the way and get the Sketchboard pulled out of the box and move that out of frame as well, so we can take a look at this thing and what it looks like on its own. And there you go. This is the Sketchboard Pro. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, essentially, this is a big piece of plastic, but I'm telling you, this is well made. It's heavy. It's super sturdy. Shipping weight was over 14 pounds, if that gives you any idea. Here on the back, you got the cutout for the camera on the iPad and then the adjustable legs. So that's the main feature here. These legs are going to give you a nice inclined drawing surface for your iPad. It's going to help your drawing posture. It's going to help you get better, wider strokes across the iPad. And we'll talk more about that here in a second. So the outside frame is made of this matte plastic. The inside, we have this soft silicone that holds the iPad. And then these screws here kind of lock that centerpiece in. And this is the genius behind the design of the Sketchboard. There's only one size of Sketchboard. The centerpiece changes out based on what iPad you have. So you'll order it based on your current iPad, but instead of having to order a whole new Sketchboard, if you upgrade iPads, all you have to do is order a new centerpiece and switch them out. One thing to point out too, the Sketchboard Pro does not work with a case on your iPad. So if you've got a case like mine, that's an absolute nightmare to get on and off. Definitely keep that in mind. So unlike my case, the iPad slides into the Sketchboard super easy here. Just applying a little bit of pressure kind of locks it into that silicone grip. And then once it's in, it's seamless across from left to right, top to bottom. There's no edges, there's no bevels. It's just a completely level surface. I've got the iPad Pro, so it's got a cutout here to charge the pencil at the top, but it also has a little hole here where you can kind of store your pencil when you're not using it. Super convenient as well. Another semi-useful feature is this hole here, which allows you to charge the iPad while it's in the Sketchboard. Here in the back, you'll see the groove for cord management, along with the hole that you thread the cord through. And to illustrate this, I'm going to be using a first-party Apple USB-C to USB adapter, and I'll explain why I'm using this in a second. Once you have the cord threaded through, though, you'll flip the Sketchboard back over, leave a little excess cord there on the left. Once they're connected, grab the cord from the right, pull the excess back as you press down. So here's the problem. The hole here is made specifically for the first-party Apple charging cable. I don't use the first-party cable. That's why I've got to use this adapter to even illustrate this. I don't even know where mine's at. So I use a third-party cord. It's 15 feet long, lets me stay further away from an outlet. But you can see the ends of this are completely different sizes. That's where the problem is. This cutout was made for that first-party one. This one's bigger. So getting it through this hole is a struggle, takes more finesse than using the Apple one. And then once you get to the front, you actually have to remove the silicone to get the cable the rest of the way through here. And that's not really where the problem ends. Because it's larger and it doesn't fit the way it's intended to, it applies pressure to where the cord connects to the iPad. If you've ever had an iPad before or an iPhone, you know you want those cords to lay as flat as possible. Any stress to where that plugs in can really affect that solder inside of the device, which is going to lead to connectivity issues and charging issues down the road, which is something you don't want, and why I would not use a third-party charger with this. Another key feature that I mentioned before are the legs on the back of the sketchboard, and just listen to that satisfying snap as I pull those legs out. You can really hear the build quality as those extend. And here we go. Here we have the Sketchboard Pro in landscape orientation. Gives you a really nice angled drawing surface for the iPad. From here, to move from landscape to portrait, all we need to do is close one of the top legs and extend one of the bottom ones. And there you go. We're now in portrait orientation. From here, we can actually rotate the entire Sketchboard Pro around, and we have a very vertical setup now. This is going to give you more of a traditional easel style feel to the iPad drawing surface, and also come in handy too for FaceTime or Zoom calls. So the surface area of the sketchboard is huge, and that's a good thing. Normally, if you want to rest your hand on the iPad screen and draw, you have to draw on the center of the screen, not the edges. If you want to draw on those corners and rest your hand, you're going to have to zoom in so those edges appear in the middle of the screen. One tip that I always talk about on my channel too is using a fluid motion when you make your lines. This means not drawing from your wrist. You want that wrist to remain locked up to your elbow and have your shoulder be the driving motion as you draw. So you can kind of see this here. You have a nice fluid motion that my hand's making, and this is a result of resting my hand on the screen while I draw from my shoulder. Once again, if I wanted to draw down here on the corner, I don't have enough room here to the right, so I'd have to zoom in, or I'd have to have my hand floating from above, and I can't reach that right-hand side and still have my hand resting on the screen. So that's where the huge frame of the sketchboard comes into play. You can draw on any part of the screen and rest your hand at the same time, which is going to make for better lines, more control, and less zooming. So that's one benefit of the Sketchboard Pro that I found after using it over the past few days. Another is drawing on that angled surface is so much more comfortable than what I'm used to. Seriously, compare this drawing posture with how I usually look, hunched over the screen with a sore neck and a sore back by the end of the day. Plus, from a YouTube standpoint, it's a lot easier to film my iPad using the sketchboard. I found it helps me cut down on the glare from my studio lights, and it's easier for me to keep my head out of the frame as I record, so be prepared to see this in future videos too. So for my final thoughts, is the Sketchboard Pro worth it? Would I buy one if I didn't get this one already sent to me? And my answer is 100% yes. It makes the iPad feel like it's got a much larger drawing surface than what it actually has, and it really gives the feeling of drawing on a much bigger Cintiq display tablet. But with that being said, it's not for everybody, I'll admit that. And here's my advice to you. If you don't have an Apple Pencil yet and your iPad supports one, I would definitely recommend investing in one of those first. Likewise, you can use this on your lap, but it really shines when you use it on a flat surface. So if you're limited on desk space, it might be too big for your work area. So that is something to consider as well and keep in mind. However, if you have an iPad, if you've got an Apple Pencil and you've got room for it, I highly recommend investing in one of these. I love it, and I'm sure you will too. I know right now some of the sizes are currently sold out, but if you want to check and see if the Sketchboard Pro for your iPad model is available and you want to grab one for yourself, I put an affiliate link to their website down in the description, so you can definitely hop on over and check them out. Also, let me know in the comments, you already have one of these? Are you using one now? If so, let me know. What do you think? Or do you plan on getting one? Drop a comment and let me know. So that's it for today's review video. Thanks for watching. As for me, I can be found online at bjdell.com, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at bjdell. So until next time, keep creating.